with homosexuality, there's some guys who do it cool, and a lot of guys who don't do it cool. We're kind of like heroin. I personally don't want to really get into heroin. But, yeah. I think if you're a girl and you don't like girls, something's wrong with you. And if you're a guy and you like guys, usually, something's wrong with you. If you're not, you know, now not for me. I haven't done it, but I don't want to, because I don't know. Most of the guys who do it, they really don't make it look appealing. And to be honest with you, I've never met a guy who makes it look appealing. Right, I had no cigarettes. Never met a guy who makes it look appealing, although I've read a few guys. Although when they talk about the gay sex, it doesn't sound appealing. But like, I like William Burroughs, and he has a lot of gay sex. He talks about it in some of his letters, but in like this cool way, you know. But it doesn't sound appealing. But there's writers, Melville, Whitman. But I don't know. I guess it informs it, whatever that word means. But so that's why I don't want to. When I say if you're a girl and you don't like girls, something's wrong with you. I'm right. I'm right. Okay? But if you're, I'm going to look in the camera for once. Because usually I'm looking down here at myself. Or all over there at myself in a mirror beyond. Or like just off into space over there. If you're a girl and you don't like other girls, it's a weird control issue. You know. I notice a lot of black girls don't like girls. I hate looking in this camera. It's like a weird it's a lens. I guess it's kind of like looking in someone's eyes, but I read on Twitter today that video where you're just like looking at the camera. It's like evil or satanic. My Twitter that I follow, they call everything satanic. But it's like their bet, you know? They think they're like upholding some culture or whatever. But I don't know, they interest me. They have a lot of like weird health remedies. I got this eczema on my chin the other day. It might have been making out from this old lady with a lot of makeup on, but I have this beard. But it also might have been from going on like a really clean diet, and your toxins get exposed, or your toxins come out to your skin. So when you're detoxing, like of course skin problems can be like not, but I've heard that when you're detoxing, it comes out through your skin because it's whatever, the last layer. That's everything. Alright, we're here. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Oh yeah, so I had all this shit and then I put ghee on it. I had all this weird it was gross in here. My skin was like red and flaky or whatever. And I put ghee butter on it and it went away. Now, granted, was it the ghee butter? Was it just like a momentary event? This fucking doctor chick who had made out with me when I got it, she was like, oh yeah, I'll put you on this 2-week steroid or whatever. It's like, bro, come on, man. And those medicines are stored in your body like forever or whatever, you know? Does that make any sense? If this doesn't make sense to you, You're not on my part of Twitter, right? So anyway, whatever. Where the fuck was I? Oh yeah, if you're gay, I don't want to like with girls. If they don't like girls, there's something wrong with them, right? But if you're a guy and you like guys, for the most part, there's something wrong with you. But there's like Melville, Whitman, Burroughs. So I don't want to say for sure that there's something wrong with you. But with the women, I don't know. There's probably the equivalent exceptional realm for women. But for the most part, if you're a girl and you don't like other girls, there's something wrong with you. Okay. I think we've arrived at whatever the fuck I was trying to say. Oh, and the joke about heroin and homosexuality. Most people make it look bad. Oh! There we go. That's it. We got it, buddy. Whew. Man, I want to thank fucking my little head of hair. I want to thank all my friends who taught me the word buddy out in LA. And that's a wrap. We've got it, you know? Fuck, what was it? Oh, damn it, now I'm going to have to watch this. It was right there, though. It was that thing that made me go, ah! You know. This guy I was talking to earlier tonight, he was like, I want to tell you a joke just so I can watch you laugh again. Earlier, I was punching the wall, like laughing, you know? And then, because I was closer to the wall than the floor. So Mickey Mouse is on trial. Or he's in a courtroom. Sorry. We should come up with a joke, though, where Mickey Mouse is on trial. Someone will write that and give it to one of us. The judge goes, Mickey, I've read everything, every text. All my colleagues, we've read it. We cannot find a legal precedent for divorce on the grounds of insanity. Mickey says, you don't understand. She's fucking goofy. He also told me his favorite line of all time. Homer Simpson. Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. It's okay. I was like, dude, Bob Dylan's he was like, what music do you listen to? And then I said, well, obviously Bob Dylan's the best. Like, it's like Halley's Comet. It only comes around like every 500 years, or 1,000 years, or 2,000 years. And then I was like, I don't know. I named some other, you know, there's so much music you listen to. He started saying something along these lines, you know. Like, you just listen to so much music. And then he was like, oh, I could never get into Bob Dylan. I try, and da-da-da, whatever. And I go, all right, so what music do you listen to? And he goes, well, what music do I listen to? This afternoon, I listened to, which is a cool answer. He had, like, when you looked in his eyes, it was really weird. It's not seppuku, it's senpeku, or this Japanese word for, like, how much of the whites you see around people's eyes. And you could see all 4 whites around his eyes. Like with me, you can see 3, you know? But his eyes were so insane. You could see, like, the white around his eyes on every side, man. It was wild. It was wild looking into this guy's eyes. Senpai, something like this. Who cares, you know? It was alright, you know. It was alright. It was cool, though. Looking at his eyes. Man, it was fucking cool. You know what I'm reminded of? See my ears? Pull them back. When you get stoked, man, your ears just go back, man. Wild. You know the word wild. It's like Kerouac said, the earth is a fellahin thing. The earth is an Indian thing, you know? Obviously. But talk, man. I mean, I don't know. Fuck, I was about to sound so goddamn pretentious. I was gonna go, but I'm versed in both worlds, like all the talk and the language, you know, whatever. Lacan, Foucault. Oh my god, the like 900 pages on being and nothingness, you know, or whatever the fuck Kant called his shit. And then the Indians, where it's just a 5-year-old who can bang out a syncopated rhythm and he didn't go to class, you know? Ah. Voila. I honestly don't think I sound that fucking pretentious, but maybe I should be really worried if I don't think I sound pretentious. You always sound pretentious. Saying anything is pretentious. Language is fucking pretentious. You know, to make a simple utterance is wildly pretentious, no? I mean, pretentious. What's the relationship of that to pretend? And pretense, rather. So you have your tense, and then you have your pretense, which is like assuming what someone's thinking, which is a complete discourtesy. Pretense, you know? What? You have to say something. Although you don't. I don't know why I started this video. I'm now vaguely aware that it's interesting, somewhat, in some way. But it's probably just the drugs I'm on, which is mushrooms, a little bit of hash, rotten fruits and vegetables, beer. And nicotine, which is the root that allows you to speak with God. When I look in the camera here, I really feel like I'm looking at young people. And like I'm 30 years old, they say. But I have seen people my age, whatever that means, boys I went to school with, and we both laughed at the teacher. 10 years went by, and he sounded like the teacher to me. He said, you can't say that. It was crazy. I never ever would get in a conversation with someone where they would even be able to say that to me, but he sounded like the teacher. He said to me the same things. He's like, don't make jokes if they hurt people's feelings, you know, or you shouldn't say things that make people uncomfortable. I mean, it was us as kids. We'd do whatever. Make the teacher uncomfortable. Make everyone, but the kids weren't uncomfortable. The kids were fine. It's only when you get old that you become uncomfortable. And then they want to tell you that, oh, here's the list of rules to be uncomfortable. You should always be comfortable in whatever. I mean, to the extreme. To the extreme. Always be comfortable. So, I don't know what I was talking about with age, but when I look into this camera, I see young people. For some reason. I suppose because it captures me, it freezes me now. And as I get older, this will not. And I will watch interviews with people who died before I was born. But they freeze there. They're for me, as a boy. Even though they've been dead before I was born. So that is why I think I'm talking to young people. Because of course I will find you young. And being young, all I can recommend is that you remain it. Against all odds, against all influence. Don't become like the people who have authority over you. Don't care about making anyone else comfortable, only yourself. For you know that only yourself can make you comfortable. And the same goes for them. But if you don't already know this and act on it, obviously, you're completely fucking hopeless. And you're not even here with me. I'm not even speaking to you. At this point, what has it been? 16 minutes and 10 seconds by this count. So I know anyone who's still here has absolutely no need to hear what I have to say. And why then do I say it? I feel as though if I had gone on a talk show and I hadn't prepared a humorous anecdote, why you would still be here is beyond me, except that perhaps there's something beyond me. I don't want to end this. But I suppose I should at some point. But now is now the time. You know I don't like wordplay. And there's a thing that schizophrenics do. I love wordplay. And I love lying. There's a thing that schizophrenics do called clanging, where they'll just say words like rose, bud, buddy, buttress, battalion, or, armament. And they'll just go on like saying words like into nowhere just to demonstrate this kind of, maybe not to demonstrate, I don't know, to demonstrate, to remonstrate, but there's this verbal thing that people in the psych ward do very often. I did it myself on LSD one time with a couple of friends. We had a ball laughing, and we spoke this little language of connection. Metaphor. Feat of association is like a great act of wit, and the height of it is a good metaphor. But these are not good metaphors. Where did I even get on this topic, man? I was talking about why the fuck am I even talking? Why? Why am I even talking? But if I am going to talk, I may as well use different voices. I may as well use different voices. There we are. The camera lens. I look at my reflection in the screen. So distorted. Or I look at my reflection in this mirror. I like that more. It's dynamic. I can see myself. The way my hair jiggles. The way that the sinews of my shoulders and my jaw muscles and my neck moves in real time. Well, not, of course, real time, because, although I don't know if this is true, but they say that light goes to the image and then comes back to your eyes. So you're seeing this you're seeing the moment, but like light speed, but light speed is still speed. So you're not in that actual moment. What I'm seeing when I look at the mirror is the past. Supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but it's the past. Because it takes however much time for my eyes to get the light that's bouncing off of that and coming in. And so that lapse in time. So everything I'm seeing is behind me. So they speak. So they say. Speak they so. I kind of want to do an hour. But it's only 20 minutes. And I know that if I go on, I I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen if I go on. I think it's important to breathe through your nose. I think. But Bob Dylan, you hear him breathing through his mouth on radio interviews. Or maybe his own radio show. I think the interviews, not the show. I don't know a damned thing. And talking is so annoying and pretentious, man. Like, what do I have to tell you? I mean, if I'm funny, if I have a joke, you know? Like, or a riddle. Although riddles are rude, you know, at least when the Sphinx uses them. I feel so cute right now. I just feel cute, man. I don't know what to tell you. I really do feel like I'm looking in someone's eyes when I'm looking into this lens of this camera. Like, I don't know who you are. And you could be watching this, like, so long in the future. You know? I watched an interview today that was 60 years old. And that's just now because we just got cameras. I mean, I don't know. But there's going to be 500 years in the future that you're watching this. It's possible. I read Chaucer today. 600 years ago, he wrote that. Hello. Hello. Not is anybody out there, because who cares? You can't respond. Well, I suppose you could respond while I'm alive. But this is not an SOS any way more than every utterance is an SOS. But hello. Where were we? Oh, I said I would do an hour. It's 24 minutes. Can I do a half hour, please? Will you let me just do a half hour? These are painful, you know? Stand-up comedians, they do hundreds of shows to just get this much together. I don't understand the concept of the career in show business. I think now it's being turned into something more fluid. You know, my favorite comedian is Patrice O'Neal, and he has his HBO half hour. Elephant in the Room, which is a full hour on Showtime. And then he died, but he has these, and then there's the thousands of hours, or hundreds, of him on Opie and Anthony, and his interviews with Howard Stern, the Patrice O'Neal sketch show that he made, da-da-da-da-da. But I feel even this, I don't know, because I don't know, so I don't know, because I don't watch anything, or read the news, or anything anymore. But I would imagine that this concept of a piece may be disappearing now, as it's you make TikTok, and you make a 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 TikTok. So there might not be a special, you know? But I don't know, I guess people still make movies. I'm assuming maybe that in the future art becomes more fluid, where it's not these like masterpieces. But then again, literature is always going to take time, and movies are literature. It's on the page. This, what I'm doing now, is not. Obviously. I feel a bit guilty, like I've wasted your time, but I think that if I felt as though I hadn't wasted your time, I'd be fucking criminally insane, you know? But the artist is a form of criminal, so I'm not an artist of any sort. I'm not an artist. I wanted to be. I wished I were. You know? God, how I wanted to be a fucking artist when I was 20. Mostly because I would be exempt from every rule. Which, now having all this Bitcoin money, I sort of am. So, now that I don't have to be an artist, let me tell you I'm not one. But God, how I wanted to be one when I had to be one. I mean, it's the only thing, you know? I would have been an artist. You know, selling lies. Lies that entertain. Politician sells lies that entertain. Why people buy lies, I don't know. Why do I sit down with fucking Chaucer or Herman Melville, Moby Dick? Whatever, man. Why do you watch this TV show? Why do we listen to a joke? A joke is a lie. Or you tell a story that happened. What was it? Man, you know, I'm actually kind of upset that I told someone the truth tonight and then they repeated the truth. When the truth gets back to you. And someone asked me, it's like, how are you on this level? The guy with the eyes. And I said, hash, mushrooms. And then later, someone comes to me and she goes, I heard you're on mushrooms tonight. No, not. He's like, oh, she's like, really? Oh, this guy with the eyes, whatever his name was. This is gonna sound so fucking racist, but Suvesh Santesh Patel, I don't know. I can't, personally. I'm so parochial and provincial. You have to, like, I'm white trash, man. I get Jim and Robert, you know? But, like, all the different names with all the different, like. I was on the other side. I'm downstairs. And I'm hearing this guy, this rich Arab on the phone. And he's, like, calling and, like, to change a reservation or whatever. And I can hear him talking to the girl, you know? And he has her on speakerphone, so I hear both sides of it. And she's like scrambling to write down the name. And he's like Hafrain, Hashran, whatever the fuck. Again, I'm going to sound so racist, but it's just parochial and provincial because I don't know these names. And he's like irritated that she doesn't know the name, and she's trying to spell it to write it into the thing, you know? The schedule. Anyway. I don't know, it's funny, right? Words and names and irritation. You know, they say that language came from a throat infection in the females of our species. Some weird thing in the throat made, like, words. The men got it, like, 500 years later, so they say. Women, I've seen on the internet, or I guess people, could use this to say, like, oh, women are more intelligent, they spoke first. But what if the word itself is a virus? And we must approach a state, if we want anything resembling sanity. And insanity is caring what you eat, caring what people think. But sanity would be a cleanliness of this virus, or an incorporation. Your body, if what I read on Twitter is correct, your body creates viruses in order to fight things off or incorporate things, you know? The word should be a virus, if anything, that you use to fight off the rest of the word. In the beginning there was the word. Let there be light, words that spoke into existence. Light that reflects off of that mirror into my eyes, that I see the world afterwards. But let there be darkness as well. The darkness void of word. That ever after silence. So let us use words, if anything, to approach that silence, to cut through all the other words. Words should be used to arrive at silence.